Alright, kita mulai game kedua antara TOB versus Homebois di sini guys ya.
Matilda.
Paramis nggak di ban.
Kalau Homebois menang baru tiebreaker kan, Gig?
Iya.
Kalau TOB menang, Gig udah pasti lolos ya.
Kenapa dia Matilda ya?
Emang ada apa? Oke sih lah. Tapi Gunifer dong. Ada
Iya.
Paramis Gunifer deh.
Wah,
Nggak bisa Brody deh.
Tiba-tiba
makanan bro.
Enggak sih, tapi ini
enggak, tadi kalau ambil Gwyn duluan ya si Homebois, terus dia ambil Paramis. Bisa valen sih Homebois.
Apa sih Faramis juga?
game ini.
Udah gak ada hero P lagi dong. Apa nih sisanya? Paling main
Harus
Cloud
sih.
Netrik kali ya.
Harusnya Valen fix ya. Valen lapuk.
Oke, Valen fix.
Valen fix.
Kamu thank you.
dulu nggak sih?
Valen
Yang
Valen Martis.
Kapan ditanya?
Warlord Valen gak sih Warlord? Lu kan jago main Valen Warlord.
Siapa?
MM1
Cowok yang
sih.
gak panik ditanya nikah
Valen
yang
udah
tua,
lah.
calon mertua.
One Valen.
Valen, nah.
Nggak jelas ini.
Wah,
Ya,
di ban dong.
Valen di ban dong.
Di ban dong Valennya.
Valen nggak di-pick lawannya Mino.
Waduh, Mino lagi.
Wah, gua nggak paham coba.
Wah.
Thank you, Ca.
Jujur-jujurannya guys. Valen ini mahal banget Valen di sini.
Demi Allah ini kalau di rank ketemu 3 kayak gini draftnya gue harus surrender anjir.
Tapi Mino
Allah gue surrender.
itu susah lawan one kan?
Apa Max?
Mino susah lawan one kan?
Mana?
Lihat tiganya Max, Guwin, Faramis,
Mikel. Beli di teman, beli teman.
Valen, tapi dia banding sih itu.
Dia
Valen kali ya.
itu kalau draft di rank sih udah GG guys.
Masalahnya nanti nih kalau misalnya
Terlalu
MD-nya
kuat,
Arnold,
coy.
lah, makan tai lah.
Maybe Diggy factor? I don't know if they play that in position 4
Ben Arlot sih.
or maybe
Wajib
Sword
sih.
Diggy.
Arlot sih kalau nggak di ban juga gue nggak.
Thank you someone. Bejir lah.
Atau Ben Pove. Gua Ben Pove sih, soalnya udah Martis nih.
Ya udah Arlot Pove, Arlot wajib ban bro.
Gua Pove sih guys. Pove karena Martis juga dipegang banget sama Pove.
Iya, Pove Martis lah. Pove Arlot.
Beda Brody sih. Wah, Valentina di ban coy anjing. Gua kira nggak di ban tai.
Ben lah pasti. Udah sisa Gwyn doang nih paling maginya. Gwyn apa ya? Lilia.
Lilia di ban juga.
Lilia di ban juga ya anjing.
Abis coy Romeo. Sisa God sih. God bisa sih.
Susah sih dulu.
Sisa hero-nya Jo.
Enggak God tapi enak Jo.
Tapi tetap susah Puri. Paling Puri mau gak mau. Cuma disamperin oleh Mino sama Gwyn. Aduh.
Ini kanan mah pick Bruno nggak? Bruno di ban. Brody di ban.
Itu Face versus Argus enaknya pakai apa Mas? Argus ya. Argus Pokito bagus.
Ya,
Paling lawan aja siapa nih?
Kalah ini menurut gua udah pasti iritan kan? Oh, Cloud ya.
Kalau udah juga mendingan.
Wah, kalau udah lagi. Ini kalau misalnya maginya Gord atau Nova pusing nih.
Ini Arlot sih ambil si Homeboy sih.
Tapi harusnya karena Arlot gak sih daripada Claude?
Iya.
Tapi ini untung lah buat Homeboy.
Gak mungkin Claudio juga kan kiri soalnya.
Iya, sayang banget. Ini Arlot
Arlot.
adalah ngapa guys?
Tapi kalau Homeboy Arlot ini Popoyos terbang terus, gua yakin guys.
Poveus terbang. Oh, soalnya kanan mau Pove.
Iyalah lawan Arlot one Martis bagus banget.
Matilda lagi ya.
Emang iya Matilda lumayan juga.
Aduh, Poveus. Kalau Poveus anjir. Ultimate bombingnya serem banget anjing.
Kalau misalnya
Varia
ya Arlot sih udah sih. Pove Gifin lolos sih. Lapu ya, oke lah Lapu ya.
Harusnya tetap Pove ya. Kalau nggak Pove apa? Terizla.
Arlot lah.
Arlot lah.
Arlot juga bisa sih.
Kuat banget anjing Arlot Faramis Mino. Gwyn.
Wah, sumpah cok. Ini hero band 4 hero
Iya anjir.
Lu lihat aja Mielo ketawa tuh, lihat.
Thank you Mantri.
Ketawa cow Mielo, cow.
Arlot sih.
2-0 sih Arlot sih udah lah.
Sampai Tamus gue pukul lu.
Sumpah kalau Tamus kita samperin ke Filipina anjing.
There's also merit getting Yuzhong to
Buat
kind of
apa
at
nih?
least
Kapan gue pukul sumpah nih Mielo ya.
Wah demi Allah buat apa?
Lawan anjing.
Gue nggak tahu ya kenapa dia Yujong anjing.
Coba Mas jelasin Mas kenapa sih Mas?
Yuzong anjing.
But
Udah nggak bisa berword-word gua.
Ada Povoyus, ada Arno.
Makan guys.
Gue sambil makan ya guys.
Ini kalau kayak gini draftnya jadi menang kiri guys.
Anjing. Awalnya enak banget
Gue
ini.
jam kelas 9 SD, gue 8 gua kelas 1 SMP Asep.
I don't know.
Ini
I
kalah
think
ya
that
guys ya,
right
Mielo
now for the
dipukul aja
Homeboys,
guys.
this is the biggest ego challenge
Udah
of their lives. They're like, we're gonna
Udah last
try
pick
and
Yuzong.
out-
Keren sih muka Mielo nih.
the counter picks
Wah,
that you
last
have
Yuzong sih kalau itu
available.
max udah
This
gua
is- if they win
starter,
this, I
Cok.
think it's kind of
Lawannya
crazy.
mati
I don't
udah
know.
lagi anjing.
It's very heavily. I agree with the counter pick.
Starter
aja.
One
lagi,
side
Max.
of TOB, it makes sense.
Nggak make sense
Just
draftnya.
like that, we're gonna get
Gua
straight
kira cuma
into the
Homebois
game,
doang yang
ladies
nggak
and
make sense.
gentlemen. The Ohio brothers
Ini
have a
harusnya
chance to
menang
drag the
KB sih.
Malaysian
Guys.
champions, the last host
Lihat.
of Malaysia,
Game
down
kedua.
with them to the depths of
Nah, ini masih
elimination,
belum last
and it
game,
comes
Cok. Game
down
kedua
to
ini, guys,
this
sumpah.
game right
Let's
here.
go.
Will
Game
Ultimate
dua sih ini.
prevail? Will they give one
Anjir,
final
nggak
fight to
logis,
take it to
Cok.
game 3?
Harusnya tetap bisa menang TOB, cuma mungkin gamenya nggak segampang itu ya.
Iya.
Homeboys gonna be playing on the blue
Oh, tapi di sini
side.
Yuzong
TOB
bener-bener
going to be playing
nggak
on
ini,
the
Jo,
red
apa?
side.
Kayak tai ya.
Nggak main. Heronya nembus dinding semua malah loncat-loncat Jo.
Right now, what are we looking like?
Gunifer
Outside of
juga nggak-
TOB, because
Gunifer
they're
juga
the ones
susah
who are
loh di sini,
setting
nggak ada yang
the
bisa di
tempo
stun.
overall.
Honestly, the
1-1
first 2
kan,
minutes of the game, I
Martis.
kind of want to give it to the side
Iya.
of Homeboys.
Ini malah jadi enak si ini. Apa Homebois anjing?
Hey,
Oh,
I take that back. I take that back.
Gak bisa arot lah, XP terbaik di dunia.
I take it back.
You know
Stop
what?
talking.
Soalnya udah
You're
mati.
gonna stop talking.
You're gonna
You
do
know?
analysis from now on.
That, oh.
No way.
We gotta give it to you, Gideon. Honestly.
Look, buddy. At this point, expecting Zorn to be giving away first
Yuzong
blood,
buat Nova
it's kind of
sejak
the thing
kapan,
now, right?
anjir?
It's
Nova
kind of
bisa
the thing. And I think
tembus-tembus
overall,
tembok.
especially
Novanya
for
Purify.
if it does start
Kayaknya buat
breaking out
Martis
into these
deh.
oh,
Buat Martis ya
hold
masih
on,
bisa.
guys.
Namanya Embody.
Not
Tadri,
being used, but
Dapat
it
tuh.
looks like
Dapat.
Dapat gue tetap dapat gue. Mati dong.
Aman Miller Embody.
Oke, untung aja.
Rugi
Rugi sih tetap sih. Jadi gue ini lebih banyak farming gitu.
Oh man, Wolf.
Iya,
He got
Gue
that.
pikir dia mau skill 2 tadi,
Crazy
Matis
with
ya.
one level down.
Pas dekat.
Well, it does have the retribution back there. I think that Chibi is not that interested into invading.
Sabar,
And
sabar,
so
sabar,
the reason why I say that
sabar.
the first 2 minutes of the game should belong to the Homeboys is because they
Iya,
still
Cok,
have
agak
Matilda
aneh.
plus the
HB, ya, nggak tahu lagi.
Max, kenapa lu dukung HB? Padahal kalau HB kalah, Geek masuk
Some
playoff.
junglers would
Enggak,
say
biar
that
game
the
3 aja
Gulliver
guys.
is not
Tapi
the
menang
strongest when it
Ohio
comes to
lah.
like actual jungling, so you can kind of invade it. If you combine this with
Thank
the
you,
Novaria,
Ramuan.
so let's just say the Matilda is aggressive, you have the Novaria from long distance. If you get to level
Bisa
4,
lah ini
you have
the
a
Ohio
very
nih,
strong
gas
turtle
lah.
taking potential.
Kita lihat
But you have
turtle
to be
pertama.
mindful of the
Udah sekarat,
super
Cok,
sharp
lapunya.
Minotaur.
Oh, what?
Mati.
Lah, boleh-boleh sih Len investasi si Mielo. Dia tahu guys kalau lawan Lapu dia harus Petri dulu biar ngajuin tim shot.
Yang bisa kuat ya ayam.
Wah ini Homeboisnya mainnya aneh ya.
Agak aneh sih.
Dibanding main-main sih temperamental
Si
kan.
Samuan emang dia tahu aja sih yang bagus yang mana.
Welcome to Ohio. TOB says
Boleh-boleh
right
lah,
now with a
investasi
win
Mielo lah, guys,
again
serius.
onto the neutral objective.
Jarang-jarang orang main Yuzong langsung Petri Lapu biar team fight-nya nggak ada gitu.
Ada, Max, lu.
Yang waktu itu kena Kars ya?
Oh, iya, iya.
Yang kita ini screen
Apa kurang protein? Bukan, karena lu diet ekstrim itu pasti.
The way I'm
Someone.
seeing the
Thank
1-1
you.
versus
Lagi
the
hari
Flood, it
Minggu
still
waktu
is
itu.
one-one-sided. When it comes to ease of execution in the
30
laning stage,
dalam
and
berapa
when it
lama?
comes to natural scaling, you would have to give it to the 1-1. That's why teams pick up something like
Razer sih
Bruno,
terakhir gue liat
something like
lawannya
Clint
kurang guys
perhaps
ya,
going
lihat
up
sekarang.
against
Betul, Max.
the 1-1.
Oi, oi.
Sometimes the Brody, right? Because
Tapi
they're
mantap sih
natural,
Jo, gua
quote-unquote,
7 hari
lane
berat gua
prior
turun
counters.
3 kilo loh.
Some gold laners will
Nice.
argue that if you want to win a
Kira
series
saya nanti
or
naik lagi,
win
Max.
tournaments,
Besok
you
udah
better pick up the
80.
Cloud versus the 1-1 because at least
Aman guys, gue bikin
then,
videonya sampai gue
there,
75
you can
dulu.
actually win with mechanical
Max,
skill
setahu gua
and
sih,
with good
3
team
kilo sih
fighting.
turun
It
sebulan
actually
sih, bukan
gives you a way to
seminggu.
win games.
This is anti-max bro, kalau lu yakin sama diri lu pasti lu bisa lakuin semuanya.
Lu bakal makan kayak gitu nggak selamanya?
Enggak lah, gue cuma 3 minggu doang.
Oh ya udah kalau gitu kalau pas lu makan normal naik lagi. Oh udah pasti itu matematika bro.
Oh wait, spatial migration. The second
Salah,
half of it hasn't been used just yet. Best
Timo,
players
wah.
on the Circling Eagles already down. Netherrealm to buy them a bit of time. Super
Wah.
Sonic with the Minoan Fury to
Wah,
get the
gila.
successful disengage. And now the
Yeah.
Ohio
Makanya-
brothers will go back into their own territory.
Wow, I understand why best player went for that play. I think it was a
Sejak
big
kapan
play.
Yuzong tuh
But then
buat
two flickers were
1-1
burnt.
sejak kapan?
And
Dia
actually
sekarang
Chibi
tuh
just
mabuk ya.
dodged
Ini
it.
early game masih berguna lah ini Yuzong lah.
Well done, Chibi.
Hitung aja
It
lagi
was
game
good for
dikit.
now, but how long can they keep up this momentum, right? We're looking
Wah,
for
1 lawan 2
Homebois to
bottom lane,
kind
apakah
of,
Mielo berani?
get the initial lead at some point, or at least even out the economy, considering that the
Putih,
1.5k
jadi
deficit
mie
forms up
mie
Homebois.
ayam anjing.
The Ohio brothers pretty much dictate the tempo, right?
Buat kepres anjing.
Especially now that he
Kita lihat ya, Turtle.
will be looking for
Dia
a team
pasti
fight
kalau
around
stream
the
dia
turtle.
biar cepet
Then
ya.
again, Super Shark and Hoon both
Turtle
don't
dia
have the
naik.
flicker, and their ultimates are also down. So that's a nice reset that Ohio brothers did.
Ayo TOB.
This can
Go.
go very, very well for the
One
Ohio
more,
brothers
TOB.
because Really, who needs to be pushing the pace is Homeboy.
Perang nggak
Udah
sih?
lumayan.
Perang nggak sih? Per on par, biar seru.
All this
Lumayan
bars
owning
early
dikit
on,
ya.
TOB continue to reset,
Oh, Warlock
reset
tahu
all
posisinya
over and
Yuzo, guys,
farm
bagus.
while simultaneously resetting the turtle. This is not good at all for
Yeah.
Homeboys.
Bak dulu
BP1
nggak
just
sih
got a
pelan-pelan masuk
level
peer?
advantage through baiting Chibi
Exactly.
onto the turtle, and now they decide to poke at it again,
Someone thank you,
making Chibi sweat, making Chibi confused. And look,
kalau
he's already
rotok rambut
rotating
ya.
again.
Coba
Might just be a non-contest here. Black Dragon form's already
Kapan
been
nih? Kapan nih?
konsul ke yang emang
Wah.
dapat mati sih.
Kalah
Kalah
sih.
Konsul ke yang bagian itu gue kurang tahu kalau gimana banget.
Tusuk jadi duit.
Kasih tau.
Kasih tahu Homebois.
Tapi Homebois itu buruk buat kita bro.
I'm surprised that that actually occurred just like that, but now a potential
Gimana
dive on
draft
bot
aneh,
side.
Jo?
Yellow, he's got to get out of there.
Hancur boy,
He's
guys,
stopped
hancur
to make
boy.
sure that he stays safe. That's going to be a tier 1
Untung
down bot
Homebois
side.
banget nih.
Instant capitalization onto the turret. A structure on top of a fight.
Well,
on top
well.
of a great retribution from Chibi.
I think Homeboys will have the advantage in the early stages. And this
Tapi
is mainly
Arut lawan
because
Lapu juga
of
punya menang
Sepat.
Lapu, Max.
It's the Lapu-Lapu and the Ohio
Kalau
brothers.
Yuzongnya dominan,
Because
menang
they have the
Yuzong. Ini
Paris, they
Arut.
naturally will want to
Arut.
group up. That's where the Lapu-Lapu
Arut
loves to
menang
fight
Lapu lah.
around. And now best player in trouble.
Mati nggak sih
He's
ini?
in a lot of trouble
Nice.
now. Ryzel's
Nah.
knowing that he can't run away. Ryzel secures that kill.
Kenapa
We see
malah
another
naik nih Homebois
capitalization
nih?
from the side of
Oh
the
iya,
Homeboys.
Cok.
It looks like it's
Harusnya
on
kita dukung
top
Ohio.
side, actually.
Oh iya benar
Here,
juga Cok.
using the BMI,
Itu
he's
saking
able to get
mie
out.
bakalnya berarti
He's got
Ohio.
Super
Thank
Shark
you
nearby,
mie ayam
Zorn.
Ohio. Emang ada mie ayam di
He's
Ohio?
not gonna die, right? Okay.
Ada cok mie Milo.
The shields.
Si mie ayam mau
Okay,
show
so
off itu ngepur
remember,
dikit
was it actually
makanya apa
best
sih?
player that went for Molten Essence, the Guinevere that went for Molten Essence into damage item that kind of failed horribly back then, or maybe it
Lapu-lapunya
was
aja
someone else.
dominance,
But
bro.
man, best player
Fighter.
picking up the plate armor this time. I think I like this build. I think it is the actual build that you should go for
Iya,
in this
coba
particular
Milo
situation.
tuh
They just have to
mau
move
dukung
properly
TOB, ya.
and respect Homeboys' composition.
They really do. That's what I feel like they didn't.
Iya,
really
songong dia.
respect. Again, momentum is a double-edged sword.
Bikin
right?
damage ya ini
Makes
gue
you
nih.
Very, very confident you are
Enggak,
able
dia
to
beta
make
armor
those
kan.
fights maybe a bit better, actually, I wouldn't say more composed. BP going in.
All right, he finds
Purify.
spatial migration really nice, but a quick purify from Zorn
Bisa
means
dikejar
that
lagi,
he's
kata
not
dia.
going to be going down anytime soon. The real question is whether they find the punish. 5 more seconds until Turtle.
And now for the
Nih,
Ohio
turtle penting nih.
brothers.
Ini kalau masih
The
menang
thing is,
Homebois,
I would
harusnya menang
still
Homebois nih
say,
guys, turtle ini.
Staying at this goal disparity, it's
Penentuan,
only a
penentuan.
400 gold deficit, is still worth it for them.
Kita
They can
tengok.
scale a bit better.
Best player udah miss
compared to the
skill 2-nya.
Here we go, Brave Spider already
Lapu-lapunya
up in the round
gendong
being
nih.
popped with Black Dragon.
Lapu-lapunya
Forward
mana
to
buktinya,
slow
anjir?
them. Zorn using the circling eagle. Mike, oh,
Ini
he
kok.
gets
Beuh,
out. Punish
gila.
fires up, jumps into all three.
Lapunya nggak
Trying to look for a
mati-mati.
trade, but Nolan Fury
Lapunya
as
nggak
well.
mati-mati.
Monopoils, yeah, didn't come off in
Emang
time.
bisa
He
ngebunuh
jumps out the
Monopolia,
Warlock
Wak?
almost instantaneously. He doesn't
Untung
have the
damage
BMI
sih.
to jump back
Nanti
to, but
bisa
Super
masih.
Shark is chunked out. He's low.
Anjing,
Ryzel's
anjing.
goal goes
Ngeri
forward
banget.
with a short
Mati dong.
crossbow.
Nggak
Up
mati
tag,
lagi.
he might get punished here. If he lands,
Masih skill dua.
the purify in time. Nicely
Wah,
done by
dia-
Ryzel. Inbuilt
Ya,
purify to make it happen. Sapad
Nggak lihat.
misses the stun, and still it's so
Mati dong.
Kalau lu tadi lu flickerin gak tuh Max?
in mind.
Wah,
GB
flickerin.
still has to decimate and finally things
Kenapa
go
tapi kalau lu?
down.
Usaha nggak miss lah.
Prolonged fight by Homeboys, and they've won it out.
Beda
despite
cowok yang
going up
satu
against
Yuzongnya
the
pakai
Fairness. They were
apa,
able to
Hunter Strike.
poke,
Lapu-lapunya
come back in
dominan,
again,
masih
and
kuatan
the
dominan.
1-1 in these long fights, you really see how he shines.
And we were saying about how the 1-1 is countered by both the families as the Minotaur. Ryzel found a solution. Just don't fight
Dari
when the
drop
families
jauh,
is there.
guys,
Just
menang
don't fight
kiri,
when the
guys.
Minotaur
OP,
is
guys.
available. His ultimate's available. And now he's leading by lap. Third item already for Ryzel. Well-timed usage of the needles and flowers as he was able to survive against Shark and then pop the ultimate. Now with the wind of nature up.
Oke,
Even
mid
though
Ada
it's
lane.
scary.
kali menonton playoff sih.
All
Nggak
I
tahu
gotta
siapa.
say, the reason why they forced to pick up the 1-1, even when there's families on the opposite end, it's
Gila ya,
because
satu
they know
hero-
that Ryzel plays well.
satu hero
And it's
beda doang,
actually
draftnya
the
langsung
hero
kalah
that
ya.
built up was the 1-1.
Ya,
They're still
begitu aja.
S-tier heroes.
Now it's a bit of a swap, actually. If you take a look
Draft
at
zaman
game 1
now, Cok.
and then game 2, Homeboys are the ones who
Nggak,
love
masalahnya
chaotic
lu
skirmishes,
pick hero
and the
yang nggak
Ohio
yang
brothers
nggak
are the ones
ini
who
banget
need to
lah,
play
ini
it proper
hero counter
front to
banget
back.
ini.
Interesting.
Ya Zed.
Iya, hero normal lah, maksudnya kalau emang lu nggak bisa main hero yang counter ya udahlah.
The blade armor
Hero-nya-
up on
Thank you
the
so much.
player.
Kalau
Obviously
gila
there's
ya
a
di
lot of
late game ya.
physical damage from
Terus
Homebois.
kanan cuma ada NOD, nggak ada dominance.
I feel right. 2 anti-Chris and also
Siapa? Oh,
Dreadnought
Ohio.
armor
Iya.
there by
Yeah.
BP1. But he's
Lawannya
actually just
Matilda.
stay on the Dreadnought armor
Lapu.
on that and then move
Yeah.
on to a magic defense.
Guys mau tanya kalau TOB menang 2-0.
Kalau gemuk tapi perut rata. XP TOB nggak bisa unlock kan nggak tahu gue.
Because this the fire is gonna hurt them.
Perut rata sih.
Iyalah, itu pertanyaan
Kalori sih karena
terakhir.
lemaknya berarti masih banyak.
Is going to spawn.
Om
It
Brontok
looks like
gua nggak
Homebois
tahu bro.
want to
Kalau
take
Enggak,
control of it for the time
gabut
being.
nih
They're gonna be able to
mainnya.
spot this out. Milo
Nggak ada
hiding on
nabrak,
the
Cok.
offside of the
Rambut
flash,
kering
but,
nggak tahu
here
gue
comes the
kalau
Astral
rambut kering.
Echoes.
Pakai
Some
conditioner kayaknya.
information, they only know Hoon is there. Best player starts to approach.
Rambut kering
This
pakai
is where it's
peju
going
coy
to
biar
get
nggak kering.
dangerous. Both
Oh, iya,
sides
Max.
looking to converge
Yoi.
on this so
Lu
far.
udah coba.
Lord brought
Jadi
down to
silky-silky.
50% of its health. Zia in the mid
Pakai
lane.
baju Oke, Lordnya udah ditarik sama Homebois di sini. Kita lihat cepat.
Take advantage of this, getting right on top of best
Naga.
player as Melo drops
Naga.
the Black
Naga.
Dragon form. Here we go, spatial migration into the final Requiem.
Wah.
Melo Fury, best player one,
Waduh.
secures the Lord, and Melo takes out
Yuzong
Jamie.
emang gila
Wow,
ternyata,
kill
Cok.
for Melo.
Ya,
They're
ya.
on the run.
Susah
It's Hoon
loh Yuzong di sini, guys.
finds Zorn, and now Zia gets the
Tiba-tiba
run for
pantai
free,
karena udah
taking
snowball
a
di awal
kill
gak sih?
for himself. Get me
Gameplay dari
going
mana
on the
Yuzong bisa kayak gini?
Melo comes in hard with best
Karena
player
snowball
as
gak sih,
well
bro?
to make this a complete
nggak mati,
wipe.
anjing.
No, he gets out just in time. No super magic
Wow.
connection.
Mie
It's
ayam.
a 4 for nothing
Ini ayam dari
inclusive of the
Ohio.
Lord.
Gila ya. Milo bos, lu lihat Milo bos.
Tiba-tiba jago gini anjing.
By the Ohio brothers with
Mie
a
ayam.
synchronized
Dia mah makan
initiation.
Ini Homebois tiba-tiba mainnya kacau ya.
Entire team went in,
Mental
they
sih
don't
ya, Mas.
care.
Ini lo membantah omongan kita berempat, bro.
Kelihatan nih.
Yuzong jelek
Sepultura
dibantai
showed
dengan
himself
Yuzong.
and committed the play, the combo with the flicker and the ultimate. Best player
Lebih jago
just
dari
literally
Yuzong yang pakai
dodged that.
sprint.
And it is
Waduh.
crucial to kind of take care of the HP of the
Kenapa
Lord.
ya kalau
Was
orang
actually
udah pasti
surprised
nggak
the combos
lolos
are
gitu
still
tuh
damaging the Lord
mainnya
during
tiba-tiba
that time.
beda selalu.
Because that actually
Iya,
failed horribly for them.
Kayak
because
jadi
now
jago
best
banget ya.
player can go and
Ini
use
kayak
the
kondisinya
ultimate
kayak
to set
aura
up for the
bawa AE nggak
additional
lolos nih.
damage from Ohio Brothers. The Violet Requiem is only for the setup.
Nah,
It's the
SMG juga
initial
gitu,
stun.
SMG
The
tiba-tiba
real
jago
stun
kan lawan
is gonna be
RRQ
with
kira kan.
Fury.
Iya makanya.
50-50 it as well,
Kayak
right? They
ketika
had the
lepas
lead,
itu
they
justru
took it
all
back
out
now.
banget
They're
gitu.
going for
Kenapa nggak dari
another
awal
defensive
kayak gitu
defense.
ya?
Guns in good engage coming in for the circling eagle. It's going to start
Waduh.
down two super
Waduh.
sharp.
Akif, thank you, Akif. Aduh,
Comes out
gua
as well as the
mah.
Beyond Fury. The Black Dragon form is going to heal as Space Migration finds Homebois. Takes him out with the Violent Requiem as someone tries to get on out of there.
Ini sering berak aja.
Bangnya gila banget, Sok. Kirain dia mati. Jago Milo, babi. Sumpah. Petrinya pas banget.
To pull away. He's
Wah,
on
Milo
the
menggila
run.
game ini.
Homie gue tuh ya.
And the Ohio brothers,
Anjing.
they
Wah.
will be able
Enak.
Can they end it?
Enggak.
They can end it.
It's
It's
possible.
only Sabat.
It's so possible. Sabat's gonna try and clear minions. Raven Spider's already out. He's gonna be able to use Raging Slash to clear
Wah,
it up
ini
in time, but that
statement gua
was too
Clover
close
R7
for
Jo,
comfort.
Yuzong kurang
Unbelievable.
dipatahin anjing.
That was Homeboys' decision. Active
Karena
inside
mainnya
to go
orang
for
yang
the
beda
for
sih.
the chase.
Apa?
Understand
By
the
Hero.
position.
Karena mainnya
But then
Homebois
again,
nggak sih?
You can
Iya,
see
karena
that
main
Supercharge
Homebois aja.
played it well.
Lu tanya Boots sama
Sebenarnya-
Lu juga pasti bilang susah, Cok. Cuman
Enggak, ini Homeboisnya yang mainnya lagi aneh.
Iya.
Lu kalau Poveus baru tuh udah menggila.
Aku
Aku lagi ucapin bang, Nani, happy birthday Nani.
Homeboisnya lagi nggak
Selalu
main.
ya Nani. Saran gua kan main bagus mending gak usah diet kalau
ultimate
udah
afterwards.
Itu kurang
Then
emang
Zia
kurang
also
olahraga,
gets
dari
upset
pola
with
makan
the-
sehat,
the initiation
dari
to the
group
back
stage,
lines, the deep punish
dari-
afterwards. Great
Cuma
work
ya itu
from the
proses,
Ohio brothers.
pelan-pelan.
My goodness. My
Udah
real
nonton.
question
Semua itu
is,
proses
udah
lah.
berat juri.
Kalau mau instan tuh pasti ada
this down
konsekuensinya.
from the Ohio brothers.
I don't know, maybe they've
Tapi
taken
emang
age
kalau yang
out
dari
of
awal-awal
Zeus'
dia
fault,
ngambil
because
Matilda,
last time we
ngasih
saw
Gunit
Homebois
Perparami
actually
sudah
drop that
ini
games
sih.
when
Emang
Rizal
kurang
was
ngajar,
getting
Cok,
engaged
namanya
on
udah-
Sawo
udah
and Kid Bomba.
di luar.
Ini sih yang bikin one-one-nya panik loadingnya anjir.
It's an NA
Kalau udah
massive,
jago
it's
ya?
always
Jago
like
kalau ada
this.
ya.
For NA, right? M3, BTK,
Ya,
horrible
tapi
performance in
draftnya
the first
sih
two
Homebois
matches,
dari
and
kemarin.
then they recover. M4, same thing for the Valley, and now
Paling
it's
retail.
TOB.
Lah.
That is
Kan dia won
basically
second
having
pick.
the same fate, and they're
Oh,
looking
bukan
alive, they're
wildcard ya,
looking
berarti
great
itulah.
here, but also Homebois, they keep
Kalau
ini tuh
handling
udah kena
it
lampu,
with their
Cok.
initiations, with
Bener
their
bagus
engages.
banget. Thank you.
Super Strike wants to go in.
Here
Lah.
we go. Minoan Fury's already out.
Salah nggak
Rizal's
sih
in a
malah?
lot of trouble. He's got the crossbow.
Wah.
Just in time to get out of it.
Enggak, itu nggak ada ulti one.
Not gonna get out of its range. Now Zorn looking for an opportunity. GB with a nice protocol as well as sure as Aura will find the
Misalnya Homebois
decimate.
Ohio
Sabat
nih.
doesn't land on anybody, forcing the flickers
Anjir
out
dia
from Shark.
auto pencet
Well,
semuanya,
as the
Cok.
sprint Now this is going to be dangerous.
Waduh, Ohio udah panas nih, dia keluarin semua ulti.
Yeah, I don't think that Ohio brothers
Bisa menang
should be
Homebois nih,
fighting
golnya
now. No, they don't have their ultimates too. All of them
Kalian
don't have the
kalau main
ultimates.
one-one itu
Gila ngeliat one-one tuh langsung kayak ngeliat ikan anjir. Sikat.
Well
Gak
done,
boleh panik ngeliat
Homebois.
ikan lagi, udah kayak ngeliat cewek telanjang ini.
No retribution. Zorn's gonna go with the circling eagle. Astral Echo's gonna give more than enough information as they
Ini
get
gini,
on out of their
one-one
way.
harusnya
They
udah
might pull
lumayan
some,
enak
but
banget,
no,
guys.
he takes the guiding wins.
Dia
They're
ngeliat
out.
one-one
It's
langsung
clean.
ini ya,
It's
Pak.
good.
Udah kayak berkerumun
Homeboys
gitu
have
anjing.
fought their way into a Lord
Aduh,
take
guys.
again, and now it's the
Kalah
Ohio
kuat
brothers
dan gitu
who have
loh.
to do
Apa
housekeeping.
dia
They
TOB
need
anjing?
to
Boys,
do
nih,
this
bos.
really, really well. A few turrets and that gold lead is gone.
That was
Game
the
3 guys.
TOB lah 2-0 lah. Geek Fam lolos nih.
For the Homebois, they have found
Iya
the best
sih.
player.
Anan tuh nggak
Well, the
punya-
first thing
nggak
that they
punya
did was to
dominance
force out
loh.
the Nether
Khas
Realms
tahu
with
gak
Non
sih,
Fury.
Rizal?
The rest is history as they're
Ini nggak
trying
ngerasain
to
tuh kayaknya.
Kenapa Yuzo nggak bikin dominans ya?
I think that
Nggak
when
tahu
it comes to
gua.
items,
Dia pengen gendong dia nggak mau
surely I said
bantu
Twilight
tim.
Armor earlier,
Gue
but
sih
then
lihat
again,
Yuzong nggak ada
with the
dominance sih
Tina
nggak mungkin
Shield,
mati gue sama
that's-
Yuzong, Cok.
That's even better because now you can actually hold the bushes.
Ini Yuzong penggendong, Cong, nggak pakai
They
dominance.
had to layer it.
Wah,
right?
banyak
skill ya.
And that's when
Kan kalau lu
Supershark
dominance
went
kan
in a
buat
bit
tim lu kan.
too aggressive
Ya.
all
Kemarin
alone as well. It was
final
isolated
bilang
and
kalian,
therefore
oh,
Homeboys
Ya dia
were
buat
Ini jamuan
get it out,
sini.
get out with the
Berapa
guiding win,
egois.
and
Apa,
they even had the
item
Purify
egois
that
lah
was
bisa
not
gua bilang
used in
ya.
that fight. And now it's TOB who are trying to defend a enhanced Lord.
Dapat
In the
dapat
bottom
nggak
lane.
sih?
Yep, they're going to be able to break at least one of these inhibitors, right? TOB all being
Aduh.
touched.
Siap.
Ini mah kalau kayak
berangkat ke
Oh,
Filipina.
no,
Ah.
GB ngapain di situ sendirian?
Ini mah kalau kayak gini Novanya jadi main, Cok.
Tapi Novanya udah mati satu sih.
Apa?
Yep. Well, they did lose this inhibitor turret on the bottom lane. If anything, that's quite even for Homebois. Surely
Late game
that
ini
was a mistake
sebenarnya
from
bisa
GB,
menang.
but
Udah
I
enak
don't
diri
think
sih
they
match
were
that game.
punished at all by
Hah?
the High Brothers because they
Udah enak
did
diri
lose
harusnya.
their lanes
Gara-gara
anyways.
Novaria ya?
But nobody,
Gara-gara
no,
Nova
no one
sama
from
one-one, Cok.
these
Matilda,
two teams can afford
trionya
to
kuat.
do that.
No, you really can't,
Nobody
man.
can.
We saw exactly
Buset,
what
damage
happens if
build-nya
you continue to do
ini
that.
Cok.
Tapi
Our
bukannya
Hero
kalau
proved
kalau
to
one one
us
tuh
that,
mainnya enak
you
ada
know,
badan kata lu.
Gusta going for the
Max
last hits.
anti-cheat.
Badannya ada kan?
To be
Gue biar yang
literally
lolos Homeboy sama
Langsung
Sneak.
mati.
Udah lah, menang Ohio deh kita deh.
And now we're
Badan
seeing
kayak
it
gitu
from
pun gak apa-apa ya, gak harus
Menang-
kayak
menang-
Kajar
menang-
atau inisiator gitu ya.
juga. Lah kan zaman
Now
gua main
no
lawan kan
more mistakes.
Gustian
They can't
jarang main
afford it.
ini.
Yep.
Tapi
Kajar
lagi badan.
Equalize now. Winter
Ultra.
Truncheon's coming in. Very important
Gusti
against
main
the 1-1.
Florin,
I think
Angela.
best player
Tapi
as
sebenarnya
well as Hoon
enakan ini kan
should also
enakan
get it
Kajar kan.
afterwards.
Sejujurnya
See,
iya.
Wind of Nature should be
Udah
enough.
pasti lebih gampang.
And
karena
Rizal
itu
is
one-one-nya
just
lu, jadi
too
kayak
rich at this point. Rose Gold
apapun
Meteor, there you
hero-nya
go. Winter Truncheon available
tetap bantai
for
ya.
best player one.
Insya Allah bisa.
These are the items that you need.
Faktanya bantai, bro.
It really does, and more importantly so, I think for best player one,
Merendah
it fits
loh
his
Apis
style, right?
nih.
He's been finding
Kadang
some
giliran dia
really
emang
good gauges
lagi
with
di rendah,
spatial migration.
meninggi dia.
Whether it's this game or
kapan
even
anjir?
previous, his running gears has been some
Gak pernah
quite
coba.
fine work. And so
Ini
far,
if you
kita
look
pinter.
Oh, Ohio Brothers.
They
Ulti.
win not from Supershark's
Ramis
initiation,
ulti,
it's from
lawan
best
ulti,
player
Mino
one.
ulti,
Supershark is there to
tergantung aja.
layer it on top of maybe Homeboy's attempt
skill
of
wise anjir,
disengaging.
udah
That guiding win,
level
circling
top
eagle, the
10.
bravest fighter, anti-CC, and the mortal coil.
Bahkan
You
nggak
layer
blade
it,
armor
give
Yuzongnya tadi.
Zia and Hoon enough
Siapa?
space to
Bikin,
deal
Max?
damage.
Oh, bikin
That's
ya?
how
Bikin
the
Bikin, tadi siapa yang
have been
bullet ya?
winning.
Kayak
Right
Mino
now,
atau-
despite Homeboy's
Apa?
laser, it has only equalized the
Ini ya?
minion wave in
Bikin
the
apaan?
bottom lane. It'll
Ini
still
Winter,
move down
Blade
to
armor, Mas.
a big fight
Yuzongnya Winter,
around
soalnya
the Lord, and
Yuzong nggak bikin
still
blade armor
favors
dia. Dia
TOB
Viras.
here with more structures that they have.
Oh, kan udah bilang, Pis.
Okay, so TOB.
Winter dia
They
bikin Winter
really
dia.
need to take care of the
Item
long
baru.
lane.
Semua ya?
A Winter Truncheon
Semua
that
Winter,
expanded from 3
Cloud-nya
members.
enggak
It's already
Sakit
available.
banget lordnya, bro.
The lane is
Cloud
important,
dulu,
but at the
Davis.
same
Dulu paling
time,
seru di
they
M5,
need
betul
Supershark
sekali.
to kind of be in the vicinity of this
Ya,
Claude
kita
as
nyari
well.
momen. Ini udah
Just,
levelnya harus
There
cari
is
momen, Cok.
there's a chance to go
Kita
for
lihat
the place
Cloud
for,
dikasih
like,
blue buff.
maybe
Posisinya
the ultimate coming out from, the
masih
Matilda
menang
side.
TOB kok, guys.
Especially
Ini,
if Zia doesn't
wah,
have to
all in kah?
Oh, it looks like they're gonna try and 50-50 this. Here comes best player. He tries, but Shield's the one that secures the Lord.
Thank you,
and Yellow
Aris.
with the Black Dragon
Jelek
will
nih.
try and chase anybody, doesn't find anyone just yet.
Kalau kadek-
Kenapa
Homeboys
dikasih gitu
go for
aja
the
ya?
reset.
Yang baru ini langsung.
Gak expect gak sih itu di burst?
Blitz.
Emang siapa yang nge-first tadi ya? Martis
I
sama
wonder what
One-One.
Martis One Nova.
Communication
Bahkan
was and what
Ohio-nya yang
information
ini
were
sih.
given to Homeboys.
Harusnya hero-hero
Surely
kayak
they
gini
saw
bukan
that
hero
best
burst
player
banget
one
nih.
is still dealing with maybe a buff or is actually
Wah,
out
Dia yang
somewhere.
miss.
Now he was
Nova
pulled down
aja
by-
masih
he was
bikin
pulled down
jenius,
by
guys.
the Novaria.
Udah ini
Now,
udah
Novaria
udah
is
susah
so
ini Yujongnya nggak
best
sih?
player one left the Lord. Lord. It
Udah,
reset
Mas.
it,
Udah
but it was
nangis.
at like a
4
third
winter
of his
ya.
HP, and then they took aggro of it again, so it didn't
Ini
completely
yang gua
reset
bilang,
that.
Cok.
Definitely
Defense,
messed up
kira-kira
his
ke defense nggak nih,
OP's
Lord ini?
calculation, and I just gotta say,
Winter
well played,
aja. Dia ada
Homebois.
Nova
That was
sih.
very,
Absennya gini kita tadi
very
gini guys nih,
good.
gua
That
kasih
decision
tahu.
might
Ada
have just
perang
given
sih ya.
them another shot at getting the
Harusnya
game.
nggak
Iya,
enak.
bro, join ya.
Try and close it out here, but it depends on who makes
Turret
that
atas pun
very
belum
first
hancur yang
mistake,
kedua.
right? The first Lord empowered
ada
minion
absen,
waves
Cok?
are starting to crash in. The mid-tier one is already going to collapse. They're going to take their
Ibu
time to
tergantung
synchronize this
tergantung
wave with
tiebreaker atau
the
enggak.
mid one just to look for another inhibitor, right? Zia's going to be putting some work into it. No engagements just yet. GB in the front
betul,
this
betul.
time, making sure that he doesn't get engaged on so freely like
Wah,
last
ketahan.
time. Yep. And that's going to be another outer
Tapi
target
gajian guys,
destroy.
gajian untuk
This is,
Homebois ini.
the
Malah
farthest
tajir Homebois ya sekarang.
playground. Can pop the Astral Echo, all of the Astral Sphere. Very difficult to deal with.
Ya,
Like
bisa lah.
that. Would just
Wah,
receive
keren,
a ton
Gimana
of
guys, harus
damage.
jadi moderator. Tatar
Nice.
buat
And
baik.
big props to Talia Brothers actually not losing more inhibitors. And this is
Absennya
mainly
pakai-
because
pakai
of the
tanda
Faramis,
seru,
right?
Cok.
It's a really good defense here when it comes
Aduh,
to
ayolah. Dapat tuh, dapat tuh, dapat tuh.
Engaged
Purify,
from
oke.
Best
Cibi.
wants
Cibi
to
mati,
get
Cibi mati.
breaking his immortality. Can
Cibi
they
mati.
save it with the guiding winds? They're going to try
Nah,
multiple.
aduh anjir. Semangat
Cok.
Happy.
That's a
Aduh,
resource
semangat ya,
down.
bro.
Man,
Walah, jadi kayak gini guys kan.
he does not miss.
One-one-nya nggak
doesn't.
bisa
The only
susah
time he
mati sih di
misses
game
isn't a
ini.
miss, right? It's a
Susah,
more called anti-CC.
Cuman awal aja
Can't
tadi
really
kan
blame him
sama
for that.
Cloud kan.
But
Sekarang
TOB,
udah
that
pelan
play has given them another chance. It's just chances being made left and right.
Aduh,
at this
guys, jadi
point
tegang
for
gini
Homebois
ya.
and TOB, and we're getting to a point where
Kita
one
kira
of these
bakal
big
2-0
mistakes
Homebois
from
tadinya.
any one of these members will end
Ternyata
up
Gara-gara mau nabrak one-one aja tuh jadi kayak gitu guys.
To take note
Wan-wan
of
mana
the
bisa tabrak mas,
immortality
kalau
for
bukan
the
sama
teams.
Kaja
The
anjing.
fact that they
Tadi tuh dia
forced
mau
out
nabrak
that
one-one, terus
GB,
one-one-nya keluar
sometimes it's
ini
more
kan, apa,
valuable
skill 2
actually
terus
than a
diburu,
pick-up.
cuman
Because when you die,
terlalu
you just
ini
respawn
guys.
after 40 seconds, but if you that's immortality, that's about what? 3 minutes,
One-one
5
lah,
minutes,
fakta, bro.
you're basically out with
Beda, gue ganti.
what, 2,000 gold.
Yeah, and speaking of, right, I mean, Chibi there, he didn't lose his life, but he
Lord
did lose
20
an
detik.
immortality. Meanwhile, for TOB, they're still pretty good on that. They can just item swap to the immortality later, and it's going to be all good.
Oh.
Just these small resource advantages,
Laudanya udah
especially
jadi
for
si
a
Albert,
Varus in the
Cok.
later stage of the game where you kind of already lose
Dia
a lot of
ngejual
your power.
Wind Talker kayaknya tuh.
Udah ini udah nggak lihat network ini, udah tinggal lihat perangnya ini.
Jual WT.
Able to dish damage,
Itu
jump back
udah
to
full
the
damage
line.
soalnya guys.
Cloud ya.
Is real for TOB.
Masa sih?
They just gotta be very, very
sakit
careful
banget.
up
Oh,
against
Cloud
that
liat game
Barbarian.
sekarang sakit banget Max.
The 1-1 up top.
Gila
Parah ya?
It's gonna be
Parah, parah.
forced out.
Mukulnya
Long
parah
lane
ya?
today.
Winter. Wah.
Long lane this game is the top lane.
Paling sakit
Well,
MM.
not this game, but in this
Sakit
Lord
banget, nggak tahu sih
fight,
kalau paling sakit apa enggak.
it's Lord number 4.
Ini harusnya Cloudnya satu wave
This
dulu
is-
sih di
this is
atas
where it
sih.
gets dangerous, right? The death timers are starting to stack back
Kayaknya nggak
up,
perlu nggak
and
sih?
more importantly, the wave management is
Itu
going
one-one
to
aja
be
mau tuh.
highly important. You gotta make sure
Wah, bisa
your
kemakan dong
chores,
Claudenya.
do your
Bisa
housekeeping.
kalau dia
Can't let
kelihatan.
anything slip anymore, especially for the side of the
Sabar sih
Homebois.
kalau
The Fire Brothers,
untung
on
nggak
the
di
other
ulti,
hand,
Cok.
they've got some
Iya,
pretty decent,
anjing.
you know,
kalau di
overall
ulti
management all
mati
across
ya,
the board.
diikutin
They've gotta
one-one
start
tadi.
pulling
Iyalah.
them first.
Gila lu Max gimana?
Just pulling it back
Tapi kan
and
nggak tahu
forth.
Minongnya nggak kelihatan di mana, Cok.
Iya,
Ini
iya.
nggak
Placing themselves to reset
Kita di
constantly,
perspektif
or
penonton
if it's
aja ini
planned,
kebuka
right?
semua map
Because
ini.
they do have the cloud up top.
Iya kan?
Reset makes
Nengok.
sense, but now that they have to reset, they don't.
Yep, the Astro Echo's already out. They figured out
Buset,
2 of their
Purify
members,
di zone
this is
sih.
Wind and Super Shark as well, and they might actually consider
Push
blitzing
mid,
this.
push mid, Claude.
Throwing it out. Slashing
Claude.
her. And now they're
Push
going to
mid,
make an
end.
effort. No,
Aduh.
actually,
Why?
they see them in like getting shoved out. Here comes the Black Dragon form as well. Lord hasn't been reset
Wah,
just yet.
kiting,
He still
kiting,
has
Cok, kiting,
the
Cok.
round. They
Kiting
can
lah.
actually take
Aduh,
this
rugi
away
banget
right
ya,
now.
OP.
Homebois is
Aduh.
looking to re-engage.
Ayo,
Lord
zongnya
actually
kita
the
tekan,
Circling Eagle's already been called to try and get out of there.
Claude.
Just nearby.
Claudenya galau anjing.
He's going to make it with a Minoan Fury. GB's in the middle of it. Spatial
Dapat, Lord.
vibration actually
Dapat,
missing.
dapat.
And that's
Nice.
the
Claudenya galau banget sumpah.
Wah, Winter boss, masih belum kalah, masih belum kalah.
Kaiser mati tuh.
masih belum.
Anjir, ini perang apa, Cok?
Gila,
Claudenya nggak mau nge-hit dah.
Claudenya bingung Cok mau mid atau mau perang dia.
Harusnya mid aja tadi ya.
Iya.
22 minutes in.
Oh, dia nggak jual Winter, dia jual Malefic.
Is it
Anjir.
defendable? Wolf,
Dia jual
Lah.
Malefic,
Sure, they have
anjir.
the Faramis, they have the Claude. It's
Holy
just
shit,
up
bro.
to whether or
Harusnya
not they will make the
Malefic
mistake.
dong,
Best player
ganti
is
si Halbert.
respawning soon anyways.
Malefic
And
kan
what they
betul
need to
enggak
do
sih?
is somebody has to take care of the mid lane
Enggak,
and then
si
the top
Halbert
lane.
nggak-
So they can
nggak terlalu
manage
ini,
the lanes
Cok.
properly.
Gak terlalu penting. Oh
You know
iya,
what
betul
happened
penting
in that
juga di sini ya.
particular fight? It's interesting
Iya.
because Zia knew exactly that there's someone into
Harusnya
that
apa,
right
Pit?
bush
Harusnya
in the mid lane,
Maleficnya
but missed the
Ganti
Art
si
of
Albert.
Thievery. He
Ganti
lost
si
the
Albert,
Spark.
Max.
Bagus Malefic ganti si Albert itu. Soalnya udah ada armor ini. Apa si Cibi-nya.
Semua orang udah ada armor.
Brothers. And that they wanted to kind of converge with the Blazing Duet and the Dragon Forward, but it didn't happen.
Cloud-nya kok
ya.
Definitely gonna lose
Jangan
structures
dong.
across the map.
Waduh bahaya nih Novaria begitu tuh.
Out right now,
Waduh
the
guys.
rest of the Homebois. Oh, that's two man
Lihat tuh,
knock.
lihat tuh, dua tuh.
Trying to disengage any kind of follow up, but best player
Itu
finds somebody.
Nice.
The Black Dragon
Wih,
Forward
Lord
to chase down
coba,
the rest.
Melo.
Petrify being utilized.
Lord,
now.
aman, 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 aman.
This is brought down to 50%.
Habis
But
lah,
somebody's
terima
down.
kasih
It's a 4v5,
Habis.
and I
Thank
don't think
you
they'll be
banget.
able to
Sehat
this
selalu ya
next
Habis.
game.
Lawan 4 nih, guys. Ini
Regardless,
tadi perang nih.
TOB
Push,
defending
push,
well.
push lane, 5 lawan 4 nih gas, bro.
Brothers
Nggak mungkin
and
di-push sih kayaknya.
Homebois
Nggak mungkin di
going
end tapi
all
sih.
out this game.
Lordnya juga masih
Nothing to
lama.
lose for
Halah,
them. Their
halah.
pride and
Iya,
for
cowok,
Homebois,
teori
they're
nomor
gonna
aja
be
kayak gitu,
on
guys.
the
Gitu.
line.
Gue tahu sih itu emang faktanya, cuma
Is irrelevant
keep
at
it
this
on
point. The
us.
kill lead as
Anjir,
well.
Cibi ini
24
jago,
minutes in,
enak
comes
gua,
down to
bro.
one small
bukan
mistake,
guys, bukan
one brilliant
bukan
play.
habis gua, Cok.
Siapa tuh?
Oh, they've shown.
Nggak
They
tahu.
use
siapa
some skills
tuh?
into this left bush in the mid lane. I'm gonna be waiting for the Lord once again. That should be the
Nggak
priority
tahu sih,
for both
belum.
teams.
Varianya
I believe that
siapa
Chibi
dulu ya nanti?
or they has the immortality. Our immortalities are very important.
Tapi Novaria nggak
Supercharge
pakai
will not
Winter
have it
sih,
in the
harusnya
next
mati
Lord
sama Cloud
fight,
ya,
which is
Cloud
very
ulti ya.
crucial. That's also true for Food. And these are important pickups for both teams.
It really is. And
Nova-
I think
ada
at
dia
this point
Winter
we can
anjing.
finally take a breath right between these two teams going back and forth, time and time again.
Biasa aja.
We have a quick look at the items, right? 27 more seconds until we see the next Lord spawn.
Item Lapu sih udah
What
bener-bener
is going to be
sustain
the
banget,
difference
gua
maker?
liat-liat
What
full
is the
tank sama
miracle
Winter
play
tuh.
that we're hoping
Terus sama
to
kayak
achieve
seminggu,
for
sehari
Cyber
sekali,
Ohio
bro.
Brothers as well as
Buset, dia nggak ada armornya sama sekali ya.
I think it must be
Nggak ada blade armor ya dua-duanya ya?
Darah doang.
Lapu sama Yuzong nggak ada blade
He's
armor
missing
ya?
the shots,
Kenapa
but
ya?
at the same time, the way that he
Jelek.
forces Ohio Brothers to this
Lawan
position,
Cloud One
puts
blade armor
Ohio
bagus kan?
Brothers
Kalian
in a
betul like
winning
nah nih,
manner,
guys.
so maybe that. And then for the Ohio Brothers, surely
Wait,
they
Clover,
want to
itu gimana
combo.
ya?
Apa-apa.
Lawan Cloud
So
One
far,
pakai blade
the
armor
Dragon
harusnya
Form
kan?
hasn't
Iya
been-
dong,
it
pasti.
hasn't been deployed properly by TOB.
Blade armor,
And
dominance.
it's mainly because they get rattled during these lore dances.
Kan makin darah, makin banyak darah, malah makin sakit kan dia ya.
That's what we've been looking at so far. When the Ohio Brothers come in simultaneously, it feels good when all the abilities hit. But there are times where you kind of want to layer
Kita
it, just
tengok,
have a
peperangan
slight
terakhir akan
delay.
terjadi.
They're all
Perang?
spotted for now. They're not going to rush this, are they? They're just going to reset this. That should be the case, right? That's what we should expect. Just getting in, back and forth into the
Pokoknya kalau lawan kayak gini dia
bushes.
pakai lawan guys, butuh buat life steal guys.
Right?
Persen udah
Butuh
sekarang.
dia.
reset unless they go in for a fight, but then again, Shark.
Oh, Lord nih, bro.
He'll only be useful
Sakit
for
bro,
that.
Lordnya bro.
Novarianya sakit banget
This might be
tai.
the curveball. This might be a way to go in. They've gotten
Skill 1, skill
Sword
1,
very
skill
low.
2 gitu.
Supercharge healing back up. Best player one is holding it in.
Riset nggak sih itu
Okay,
serem banget
they wanna
tadi.
fight. They're gonna
Naga.
and now Sapa jumps in the middle. Maybe Yorker is gonna be the flood.
Dapat mana
Mati.
Apa? Retri jago banget si Cibi ini, tai.
Cibi
anjing dah.
Si Retrinya nggak pernah miss, tai.
Makanya segar.
Mereka Cibi sekali aja miss Retri menang ini Ohio.
More worth it here. A kill with 60 seconds on the death
Tapi
timers.
si
or an
jago ini
evolved
masih
Lord.
0 Max.
Wolf, I have to ask you.
I think
Melo
Evolved
ya?
Lord. I think
Dia nggak
Evolved
mau
Lord,
MVP, biar
especially
MVP
when
dia, bro.
it does not
Dia
respond
apa aja?
as soon as
Biar
they
MVP.
die. You know, sometimes you
Dia
get a
nyari
delay,
MVP
but
ya?
this time the Lord's
Iya.
gonna-
Semuanya nyari
They
MVP
might not
nih.
be able to use it. And my,
Tapi
when I
iya, tapi yang paling
when I got
skornya
into
pasti MVP.
M5 and especially in MPL, I word in the street was
4-0-11.
Chibi was the retry god, and now I'm seeing it before my
Aduh,
eyes.
beneran kata Jojo, jam
Happening
setengah
again,
jam
right?
Cok.
Best player one. I feel like for the last few lords outclassed in that retry department. Even now, Chibi
Lama
looking
banget
at
tuh gue lelet Cloud
he's
itu
dealing with the way
clearin tuh.
bottom and TOB are actually sacrificing.
malah.
a
Itu
lot
lihat
of on the
mukulin
other side.
Martis nggak ada Malefic nggak berasa.
This is
Iya,
4v5.
dia lawin
This is
Talker lah.
4v5. Best player, he finds the
Kalau
initial
nggak,
engage, gets the knock up towards Chibi's
Wah,
side.
GG
Shows like he
gak
could
sih?
roll
Oh, ini
through
lagi nggak ada,
Milo.
lagi nggak ada
Now with the
kedua.
Black Dragon Form,
Mino.
making the attempt, Superstar goes in with the Neon Fury.
Wah,
They're getting
Oke,
caught
ini
here.
mah orangnya
Now
mah.
with the top side, they might just try to
Aduh,
muscle
ya
it through.
astaga.
Ezreal comes in with the Winter
Wih,
Nature as
Cloud
well.
udah
They're
Cloud-nya.
trying their best to keep them out, but
Aduh,
they
ini kalah
keep
si
going
perangnya
back
sih.
and forth, in and out
Gak ada
of the
Mino ya.
fight
Kayaknya
to
mereka mau end deh
maintain
nih 5 lawan 4
battle
deh.
perimeters. The crystal
Wih,
Pasti
Pasti
mau
mau
sih, feeling gua juga.
Fresh set of minions in the
Variannya
mid lane.
babi sih, lihat
They're
game
all
nih, guys.
caught. They don't. This is now
Nyebelin
the
ya?
4v5 in favor of
Aduh,
Homebois.
eh.
Oh!
Jago tuh.
Mati, warna mati.
But
Warna
now
mati.
we see that Warlord is in a lot of trouble. He's got to get out of there. GB lost his immortality.
Itu dianya sendiri dong.
And now they're going to try and muscle
Aduh.
through.
Aduh.
They get it. Pulling it to a game
Game
three.
ketiga.
Jaminan.
Other way that it goes. We're going
Ya nggak bisa dong, member kan kamu bukan member Adit.
Enggak, kalian itu bayangin kalau itu Popheus, kalau emang mau nabrak 1-1, fisiknya dari Claude, WWN kepancing, Popheus finishing. Aduh, we lost.